Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the northern panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous.
Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
what happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually kind of a sports show? It's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And listen, that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor.
3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
Senators getting a look at the school bailout bill. Can public and private education coexist? Brad McElhinny from under the Capitol, and social media on trial. It's a loaded Wednesday edition of Metro News Talkline. We're underway.
Not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Gang's all here, ready to go. We appreciate you being part of the program on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia, or if you are watching on the Metro News TV app, Facebook, or YouTube, we appreciate you joining us for the next couple of hours. Ethan Collins is our audio producer today. He is sitting by at the phone, waiting your call, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can text the show at 304-TALK-304. Jake Link is our video producer this morning, if you're watching on the Metro News TV app and on the aforementioned sites Facebook and YouTube. We'll talk about Facebook, and in fact, its parent company Meta on trial over... did it cause a teenager to go into depression, body dysmorphia, et cetera, et cetera? We'll talk to Dr. Joseph Jones from WVU about that coming up bottom of the hour. Brad from the Capitol, Senator Jay Taylor scheduled to join us as well. Say good morning to TJ Meadows. He's in Charleston, back in the Cozy Radio Ranch. Good morning, sir.
Back in the Cozy Radio Ranch, not from home. Although I have to tell you, I like broadcasting from home. It's nice. Just the commute is great. But yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's do it. Let's lineup today.
Let's jump right in. Joining us from the Encova Insurance Studios in Charleston this morning is Putnam County Senator Eric Tarr, who just a moment ago on our flagship in Charleston, 580 WCHS, had a little announcement to make. So we said, hey, why don't you just stick around for a couple minutes? Senator Tarr, good morning.
Good morning, Dave, TJ. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Let's start there because I want to get to some things that were talked about yesterday in Senate education. But you had an announcement this morning. You are going to be seeking re-election.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, we filed yesterday, had a bunch of people from the district and representatives from the district up there with me signing, family, a lot of support. Puts a fire in your belly and ready to roll. So it's I enjoy campaigning and looking forward to it. So
let's get right to it because I know you're a numbers guy. I am too. This issue with Hancock County schools, and then we'll morph to the entire school system and the funding challenges we have. How concerned are you?
I'm very concerned that we're going to have more and more schools having to be taken over by the state. It's more than just the issue at Hancock. I think Hancock is a canary in the coal mine on some of the reasons we're getting to this problem. One is that we have personal property taxes, and you've heard me rail on this for years now. Personal property taxes across most counties in West Virginia are a declining revenue source. And the local share for our schools comes from property taxes. So it's property and personal property. So 85% of the taxes collected on property in a county go to fund education in that county, depending on the revenue that comes into the county. That's a declining revenue source. On top of that, and it's a declining revenue source because you've got still death rate exceeding birth rate. So you got fewer people owning it. Personal property is a depreciating asset, so the collections on it go down. Although we're seeing really great pockets of growth. Senate District 4 is one of those. That's where you're seeing some investment. You got a lot of counties who still are not seeing that investment, so that's declining. You take all that together and then say, okay, well, this is a significant portion of how we fund counties. Plus, you got that death rate exceeding birth rate, meaning that the future enrollment of students is likely to be less, which also, and future population in the county is going to be less, affects the federal money, it affects the state money, and it affects the local share. So if we don't go in and figure out and re-envision how we fund counties and our public education, it's just not public schools. That's the big one, because it's over 50% of our budget, and you start looking at that piece of it. But when you look at beyond that, that's your fire departments, it's your county services, and it's all that. All that is being really compressed down to a lower and smaller tax base. And so if we don't re-envision how we fund counties, you're going to continue to see declining ability to support those services. That's what Amendment 2 was all about when we were trying to get rid of the personal property tax and then redirect general revenue funds into counties, because that personal property tax is also an impediment to investment in West Virginia. So not only is it a declining revenue source, you're not going to get more of it because you have it. So we have to address that. And so right now, almost 20%, we're not there, but we're almost 20% of the schools in West Virginia, counties, I can't say the number of schools, but 20% of the counties are now been taken over by the state of West Virginia. And in committee yesterday, I did not walk away with confidence that number was not going to grow.
We have 12 counties below the cushion that the state superintendent recommends in terms of their unrestricted balances.
They're 5%. That's right.
That's hugely alarming. And
it's growing. When we were looking at this in 2022, and we're really working on the legislation that would follow Amendment 2 if it had passed, which would have given the legislature the ability to lower or eliminate personal property tax and then come back and supplant that revenue with something else. So when we were studying into that, we had 40 counties that if you trended them out, that they trended to insolvency. 40 out of 55 counties.
Good night.
Senator Eric Tarr is joining us. Eric, it seems like you've got a double whammy, because for all of the reasons you mentioned with the personal property taxes that fund the schools, but also the state aid formula relies so heavily on student enrollment numbers, and that is declining for all the reasons you just mentioned, plus students moving to homeschooling, private schooling, etc. It seems like the whole system needs to be overhauled here, yours revenue source and how you distribute state funds.
Absolutely, yeah, and we've been looking at that too, and Senator Grady and I actually started putting a group together year before last to look at how would it look if what all information do we need? It's kind of how you start. Is like, what information do we need to start investigating a change in policy on how you fund education in West Virginia? So there's a lot of things that's happened, and how we put it together is we started putting attorneys, policy analysts, people within the school systems to go through and say, okay, we need opinions. Well, we ended up with a notebook that's probably about 6 inches thick of single space pages going through there to start reviewing. So it's in the 1980s is when we set up. When I say we, I'm talking about the court system in West Virginia, set up how you fund public schools. Since then, there's been a lot of changes in the 80s, of course, on the economy of education in West Virginia and nationally, but certainly in West Virginia, because we got school choice. So now you've got a growing homeschool population, which we've had a growing homeschool populations well before we ever went in legislating school choice. And you saw people leaving public schools in droves, either to leave West Virginia to go into a state with a better school system, or to take their kids into homeschooling. And then we went into school choice to try to put out that fire so we could keep some of those parents here in West Virginia and those families here in West Virginia to go into where we did public charter schools. We did the Hope Scholarship, those type of things to give some options for parents to say this is how and where I want my child educated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's outside of what that design was for that school aid formula that was presented in the 80s. So you got this piecemeal approach now that's happened overall to how you fund public education, sitting on top of a declining revenue source across the board. So what that tells me is that you got to step back and you got to take a comprehensive look at what we want our education system to look like in West Virginia as far as access to it in any given area, and then also the quality of it and how do you fund it to get that quality. Part of the issue is it's that quality is not just relative to the money you spend on it. And we certainly prove that in West Virginia because, we spend. We're spending a ton of money on schools that have very few students in them.
But you'd agree we still have funding issues.
Oh, absolutely. The school aid formula has got to be revised. And I talked to Brad a little bit yesterday about this right before floor session. I was trying to speed through it, and it's not a short topic, unfortunately. But it needs to be a governor-led initiative, I believe. But it needs to be worked on collaboratively between the legislature and the governor to solve that problem because this will not be a popular fix.
So I interpret that, if I'm hearing you, the governor isn't leading on this issue. Is he?
I don't think anybody's leading on it right now. That's the issue. So the governor, I would say no, the governor's not. But I would say that neither is the legislature. I'll lay that on us as well. Is that while we've been investigating it, I can't say that he's not been investigating it too. I don't know. But to get to the point, the problem, the spot you start on solving the problem is you take that research from both the executive and the legislature. You sit down in a room with the decision makers, the governor, the leaders in both chambers, and you start saying, okay, how are we going to solve this problem? And you collectively work on that so that you come out next session. It's not going to happen this session. It's just not. So that you come out next session and day one, you've got a bill that you've got support behind in both the House, the Senate, and the governor's office, and you can go out and communicate that effectively to the people of West Virginia because it affects, this is going to be a generational change. I mean, it's the one we're operating now is since the 80s. So you're going to have the governor's bully pulpit to go out and explain why this is good for West Virginia. And that's one of the first challenges I saw when we started doing that research.
He's Putnam County Senator Eric Tarr, and you're right, Eric, this is a very deep subject that requires a lot more conversation, and we will have more conversation as we continue moving through this legislative session. Appreciate you stopping by, and best of luck with the re-election campaign.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, TJ.
Coming up, we'll continue to talk education. Can public education and private education coexist? Some say you have to pick one side or the other. We'll introduce you to a couple of folks from Logan County who say it can. We'll do that right after this. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
Principal Greg Dosh of MTech.
Thanks to funding in part from West Virginia lottery proceeds, we're expanding MTech with a new STEM edition.
Across West Virginia, opportunities like these are made possible when you play, helping to ensure more students can discover their future right here at home. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery for education have totaled $4.1 billion. West Virginia Lottery, 18 plus to play responsibly.
Metallurgical coal builds the world, and the Met Coal Producers Association is the network that makes it possible. The MCPA unites America's met coal producers, giving members a powerful voice in policy, partnership, and progress. Producers, suppliers, and innovators come together here to build relationships, drive growth, and strengthen our industry. Join today. Visit metcoal.com. Met Coal makes it possible. MCPA makes it personal.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
We'll talk to WVU Professor Dr. Joseph Jones coming up bottom of the hour. Social media is going on trial. We'll dive into that bottom of the hour. Brad McElhinny from the Capitol coming up as well. Second hour of the program. So there's been this narrative, but it seems like when it comes to the discussion of public education versus private, there is one side or the other. You got to be on this side, you got to be on that side. Can both of those coexist? Well, this couple in Logan County says, well, they can, and they've been on both sides of it. Kristen Dingess is a former public education teacher and administrator. She's the founder of the West Logan Christian School. Her husband, Scott Dingess, is a pastor in Logan County as well. They both join us on Metro News Talkline this morning. Scott, Kristen, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you coming on. So, Kristen, I'll start with you as a former teacher and administrator in the public school system, now working over in the private side of this education industry, education world, if you will. Can these two, what seem like opposing forces, coexist, public and private education here in West Virginia?
Oh, absolutely they can. I'm of the opinion that they have to. They have to work together.
Why?
Because I also like to garden. I'm a gardener. I don't get to do a lot of it because of my schedule, but one of the things that I have found is that you have certain plants that will grow in certain environments. I'm not going to go outside and plant a cactus in my yard because I know that's not going to it's not going to do well. But if I take that same cactus to Texas and I plant it in Texas, then that cactus will flourish. And kids are no different. We have students in our school that did not flourish in public education. They came over to us and we have seen them do amazing things because it's the environment. It's just a different environment. We have families that have kids that are in private school with us, and then they have a sibling that's in public school. So it's just a matter of environment and where a child, because that's what it's about. At the end of the day, you're about educating kids. How you educate kids, does that really matter?
Scott, West Logan Christian School, how large is the school? How many students are enrolled there, and how did you identify a need? How did you to identify a need there in your community?
That's a long question, but I'll give you the short version. I believe that, first of all, God's got to call you to Christian education and private education. That's just personal. I don't think that you just jump in this thing because there is a scholarship. We've done it before the scholarship. It's something that we felt impressed upon our hearts for actually many years before we even spoke about it. It's one of those things like, how do we do that? And she's teaching in public school and then became a principal eventually in public school. So for us to enter in that style of ministry, first of all, opens up Pandora's box of all kinds of spiritual warfare, my opinion. And then people's got their opinions. So we already was a large ministry in the area and one of the largest churches in the county. And then so when we went to do a private school, it was definitely something that God put on our heart. And with Kristen being involved in education, her journey there showed her that not every kid's flourishing in every environment, as she just spoke.
So when you talk about those different environments, Kristen, let's talk about special education. No offense, but I would imagine sometimes private parochial schools, my children attend one, it's a fabulous school, but they may not be able to equip and handle from a facility standpoint, from a specialized education standpoint and the proficiency that teachers have to have for that. They may not be able to handle a special education student. It would seem to me that public schools don't have that choice. They have to. So how dependent is the private system on public schools for special education?
We do really well, I feel like, here in Logan. I have never had issues with the Logan County Board of Education. They have been phenomenal to work with. And you're right, there's times that we're not able to equip, parents, students, and I'm very honest about that. We have students across all demographics in our school. We have students on all education levels at our school. We have students that are special needs. We have several students that are on the autism spectrum. But a lot of times a smaller environment, a smaller class size helps with that. You get closer to the students, I feel like, when you have less. I can say that because when I taught in the public education system, I had 180 students a day. That's insane. And the basis of education has to be on relationship. I mean, you have to develop those relationships, healthy relationships with your kids. So a lot of times just that component alone helps us meet needs of students that, that not a lot different than they were being met in public school.
We've only got about a minute. I'm going to ask you a loaded question. A lot of this conversation revolves around public support for private schools through the Hope Scholarship. Should the state be providing public support, public dollars for private education?
I think so, absolutely. Our parents pay taxes. They pay taxes that go towards education. You talk about the Promise Scholarship. You just had a commercial about the Promise Scholarship. The Promise Scholarship, that contributes towards private education. It's not going to cover as much, just like the Hope Scholarship, but the Promise Scholarship covers both public and private colleges in the state of West Virginia.
Scott and Kristen Dingess with West Logan Christian School. Guys, thank you so much. We're short on time. We got the hard break coming up. We appreciate the perspective. Best of luck to you with the mission down there in Logan County. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up, social media is going on trial in California. We will talk to Dr. Joseph Jones. What could the ramifications be? Should it even be on trial? We'll dive into that topic. Brad McElhinny is at the state capitol today. We'll find out what is happening under the dome and hoping to connect with Senator Jay Taylor as well. He had some very pointed comments yesterday regarding CPS and reforms needed in that agency, broadly speaking. So we've got a lot to get to here on a Wednesday. Your texts are welcome as well. 304-TALK, 304 and 800-765-TALK. the text line, and the phone number. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It is 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. There are warming centers set up across the state as the bitter cold continues in West Virginia. Kanawha Valley Collective Executive Director Tracy Strickland says Charleston-based centers have been busy.
It is just so bitterly cold that, it's very dangerous. They understand the level of danger. And, like you said, we're seeing people that are both unsheltered, and we have people that have housing that are coming in.
The cold weather forecasted to continue for the next several days. The state Senate could make some significant changes to a House-passed bill aimed at helping financially struggling county school districts. The House passed the bill in one day last week to help Hancock County. The Senate has assigned that to two committees. It was discussed Tuesday in Senate Education, but there was no vote. Education Chair Amy Nicole Grady says additional review of the bill is needed.
To make sure that it's not something that counties just turn around and say, well, big deal, we're in the red, we'll just get a loan from the state. We want to make sure that's not their first. We want it to be something that is, definitely last case scenario, worst case scenario.
Meanwhile, over in the House, there's a new chairman of the Education Committee. Montague County Delegate Joe Statler, appointed Tuesday by House Speaker Roger Henshaw. Chairman Joe Ellington is now Deputy Speaker. Sadness in the House today, with delegates mourning the death of longtime Delegate John Overington. He served in the House for more than 30 years, decided not to run in 2018. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
The Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show returns to Milan Park in Morgantown, March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of campers and RVs, boats and ATVs, hunting and fishing supplies, guns, knives, and more. Limited vendor space is now available. To put your products and services in front of over 10,000 outdoor enthusiasts, visit WVOutdoorSportsShow.com. The 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown, a WVRC media event.
Governor Patrick Morrisey has a news conference set for noon today at the state capitol. Morrisey will probably have a few comments about storm recovery efforts. Appalachian Power only has a few hundred of its customers still without service, and most all of those are in Kanawha County. Also, the governor may be asked some questions today about his decision to continue the deployment of West Virginia National Guard members in Washington, D.C. through the end of this year. Morrisey making that announcement Tuesday evening. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
We'll get to the text line coming up next segment, 304 Talk 304. Might even take a call or two. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That is the phone number. Social media apps. Remember when Facebook first came out? I was in college, actually. It was college Facebook. You had to be in college to get on Facebook. And then everybody got on it. But since then, they've long been accused of being harmful to children. Now some of those claims will go before a jury for the first time in a trial that kicked off this week in a Los Angeles courtroom. A key question will be whether tech companies deliberately built their platforms to hook young users, contributing to a youth mental health crisis. Folks are watching this trial closely out in Los Angeles. To help break it down, what it could mean, Dr. Joseph Jones, assistant professor for the Reed School of Media and Communications at WVU, expert in media history and culture, and teaches media ethics and law. Dr. Jones, good morning. Good to talk to you again.
Oh, always great to be here. Thank you.
So, social media is going on trial. Why could this be a landmark case?
Well, so there's actually like 9 trials going on right now in California. And if any one of them rules in favor of the plaintiff, of the people suing these social media companies, that could open the door for, literally countless other trials of people who could say they were harmed by this, and not just individual school districts are kind of getting in on this, that essentially social media is a public nuisance, that it harms the ability of students to pay attention, that it harms kind of the social environment, that it harms all these things. So even kind of state institutions, attorneys generals around the country will be looking at these cases to see if they will have a lawsuit moving forward themselves.
Professor, I can't imagine a world, though, without social media. I just can't imagine that. So I'm not sure that we can fully litigate it. It seems like there has to be some personal responsibility here as well.
Yeah, I mean, oh boy, you've opened a can of worms on this one. So I even ask my students all the time, like, don't you guys get bored of social media, like looking at the same stuff? And they're convinced that this will be here forever. I also remember the days of MySpace and all of that. And I was in college as well when Facebook came out. Yeah, no, I do worry when we immediately jump to blame technology. I don't think it's the same comparison, but looking like back at comic books, even in the 1930s, people were worried that comic books were going to ruin the youth. They were going to make them commit crimes, all of these things. I do think there's some more intentionality behind what Silicon Valley has done. They have clearly designed addictive features. And the kicker about this, of why these lawsuits are going to take off, is there are internal memos and documents that show executives kind of knew they were causing harm, they knew they were being addictive, and they went along with it anyway, which essentially puts them in the same category as opioids and as tobacco, at least as far as these kind of plaintiffs are concerned.
That seems to be the key difference, because I was thinking about the same thing you were, right? It was comic books, it was rock and roll. In our generation, right? D&D it was satanic, but when you look at social media, there's no doubt that the algorithms are designed, however they work, I don't know how they work, but I know they do, to keep you coming back, to feed you what you want, even to feed advertising that you want. That's different than, comic books or rock and roll lyrics that could be, could rot your brain. That's a little bit of a different game.
Yeah, no, because this is absolute surveillance. This is getting inside all of your activities. And how these algorithms work is essentially they are constantly A/B testing, which means they just throw you different forms of content to see which one you will engage with. And what whistleblowers have found, too, is that the stuff that's being engaged with are conspiracy theories, bullying, hatred, misogyny, like all of these really terrible things are actually being incentivized. Like the worst parts of our humanity essentially are being weaponized against us to keep us engaged with these platforms. Whole new ballgame, for sure. I just do worry about moral panics that are going to try to everybody's going to try to get their piece of the pie while this is happening. I do think it'll go a little slower than that. But no, it's about time these social media companies have been held the least amount of accountability they could have.
I worry about the Pandora's box and slipping past just social media that you talk about, because, okay, then does it become the pipe? Do we sue Apple and Samsung and these people that make the devices that facilitate the viewing of social media? Do we sue artificial intelligence, who can now make a better algorithm for more advanced A/B testing? I don't know where it ends. And one of the real worries I have, I wrote about this today, all of a sudden we have an environment where it is no longer a good thing to innovate, and innovate becomes a liability. And I don't mean to say the sky is falling and be an alarmist, but I think there's a very real possibility there that we suppress our gains if we can go after all of these platforms and then the hardware and the infrastructure that facilitates them.
Yeah, and I don't think it should just be lawsuits. I think it should be public policy. We're not talking about even individual payments out to people who have been harmed individually. Let's make these social media companies invest in media literacy programs or fund local journalism. How about that idea? Like all of the ways they've caused harm, let's actually use that towards public good and not just these private payouts. I also think what you're looking at is, a First Amendment concern, essentially, that you're saying this idea that we have to kind of pay attention to what we're publishing and all of that. And actually, I think this is where we're overdue. I think Section 230 of the Communications Act of 1996 has been this blanket protection for social media companies to spread misinformation, to spread conspiracies. And I do think that this at least will get them scared enough to say we have to take some responsibility for the stuff on our platforms. What I would also point to in this situation is data brokers. That a lot of times we focus on these giant companies like Google and Facebook and all that. There's these companies called data brokers who are essentially trying to aggregate all of our data and weaponize that against us. Not just these individual platforms, but these giant conglomerates. And that will take policy. That will take laws, not just individual lawsuits.
We're talking to Dr. Joseph Jones, Assistant Professor, Reed School of Media and Communications over at WVU. Is there a difference when we're talking about hashtag fake news, misinformation, slop, as the kids call the AI fakes. And some of this content that really does influence particularly young people, particularly kids, teenagers, influence them to make bad choices. And here's a terrible example from when we were kids, but I remember this in school. Don't think that the person on the magazine cover, the model on the magazine cover's, normal. That could drive you to eating disorders, for instance. Long-winded question of, is there a difference between actual harmful content that is getting pushed to kids and some of the other stuff that we're talking about, fake news, misinformation, slop, those sorts of things?
Well, and that's where the First Amendment comes in and makes this so tricky, is there is a very fine line between what is misinformation, what is just exaggeration for the sake of culture? Like what is just kind of exaggeration for the sake of entertainment or fun? And I do think that it's hard to draw those lines. It's hard for anybody to be the moral police. I am certainly not the one to come along and say, this is good content, this is bad content. And I think that's where the real issue comes in, which is why we need to have a slow down and have a nuanced conversation about what kinds of content are we talking about. Because children have been used since the history of media to try to, censor things that, it's bad for the children, it's bad for the children. We need to be very specific of what's bad for the children, how it's bad for the children, and most importantly, who's profiting off of it. And then once you see who's actually making money off of it, that's when we have responsibility and can kind of try to change the tide.
The French are ahead on this, as I believe the rest of the EU is as well. This idea, I think 16 is the age, no social media until 16. Not sure that comes to fruition here, but is it something we should debate and consider when you talk about those policy ramifications?
Yeah, and that's what the state levels have been doing, is these individual states have been coming out with age restrictions or parental consent. Nebraska actually is the most successful one so far. They have 18 and under, and that, I just don't see that.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah, 18 and under, no social media. I do not see that lasting, considering they've tried to regulate like violent video games for 18-year-olds and under, and the Supreme Court said no to that. I can't imagine social media gets that regulated.
How is social media different, or is it treated differently than advertising? You mentioned kids are used for everything. Saturday mornings, watch Saturday morning television. All the toys and the games and the movies and the shows that are targeted at kids so parents will spend their money. Is it treated differently than that?
Yeah, no, He-Man was a 30-minute commercial, right? That's all He-Man was. So, and this is, I think, the point of some of these plaintiffs is that we've regulated advertising. Why can't we regulate social media? So the biggest issue right now is this law called Section 230, which basically says social media companies are not publishers. They are merely platforms. The only people who can be held accountable are the publishers, so that is social media users themselves. So even advertisers, people posting on social media are the ones who can be sued for libel, are the ones who can kind of face legal ramifications. What this case is saying now, and why this is so new, is basically saying, no, maybe social media are publishers. Maybe they do need to be held responsibility for what's kind of on their platforms. Again, maybe a challenge to First Amendment and what we should allow to be and what is freedom, but also maybe there should be some minimum responsibility to social media companies who are making money off of our data, that they then too have to kind of be responsible for this content.
Raising children is very difficult. It seems it is getting more difficult day after day. I have 3. That's my take on it. But do I have some personal responsibility in terms of, okay, I got to have screen time limits, or, okay, I need to set up all of the parental controls to understand they can go to this site, not that site. Don't put this social media platform on their iPads because they're not ready for it yet. What role do parents play here?
No, I definitely think personal responsibility is always something important to talk about. But what I would say is that there's a whole generation and industry against you. It's like trying to get your kids not to eat McDonald's. They hang out with their friends, they eat McDonald's, and they tell you, you've been lying to me my whole life. McDonald's was fine. Or, just that example that individuals can only do so much. When you have a whole industry, you have a whole peer group, you have a whole kind of social setting that is going to incentivize these young people to actually use these social media platforms and to use them in ways that maybe we would find problematic. So I do think there is a spot in the conversation for personal responsibility. Obviously, that's where kind of everything starts, is in the household. But we do need larger collective solutions to this, only because the industry is so good at this. And again, the algorithms do things that we don't even know how they work to predict our behavior and how to keep us engaged. So I do think there needs to be some more collective conversations outside of personal responsibility.
Do you think we learned some of that through these trials? We actually learned that the curtain gets pulled back a little bit on how this is actually functioning?
I guess. I mean, a whistleblower came out in 2021, Frances Haugen from Facebook, and she said everything that researchers have known for a long time, and it was kind of a drop in a bucket. So what I do hope about these trials is that fine, people getting paid out for the harms that were caused. That is what the legal system is there for. It is more, though, for these people to make a case to the public to say, this is what social media companies are doing. This is how they're profiting off us. They're profiting off of harming our young people. They know it, that they are doing this with their own research. So how can we let this continue to happen? And I think this gives more incentive to politicians and lawmakers to maybe get something done.
This sounds a bit hyperbolic. I'll say it sounds like it's out in right field, but I'm thinking about the last time I was traveling abroad. You go through Europe, you go through the Caribbean, wherever, at the duty-free store, buy a carton of cigarettes and huge font, smoking kills you. Is that coming for social media, a pop-up? Social media is bad. I mean, is that where we're going?
Yeah, that is one of the kind of again, another state law thing they're trying is these pop-ups, and they don't just come up randomly. It is like, if you've been on there for a while, it kind of reminds you, hey, like, go breathe fresh air or something like that. Like, hey, look up every once in a while. So I think we're gonna get the skull and crossbones with a picture of like the damaged fetus that you get in Europe on those packaging levels. But I could see like pop-ups and little reminders, at least as a bare minimum of what the industry would offer, because the industry is still incentivized to keep us engaged on these things as long as possible. So they will hit the bare minimum of what they think the public wants to see.
Dr. Joseph Jones, Assistant Professor, Reed School of Media and Communications, expert in media history and culture. We'll be watching. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. Always great. Thank you.
800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, and 304-TALK, 304 the text line. I'm going to throw this out here at the risk of it going sideways, but I'll throw this out there, TJ, just out of curiosity. I would like to know, remember this is a PG show, your guilty pleasure on social media. And what I mean is, for instance, I enjoy Karen videos on Instagram, where Karen gets the karma back at her, She's ranting because the kids are riding their bike up and down the street, and then she trips over a tree root and falls. I enjoy those. The algorithm knows it, too, and continues to pump them to me. Karen's getting karma. So, since we're talking social media, what's your guilty pleasure on social media? What's the thing you watch where you look and go, I hope nobody... Hey, PG, by the way, PG... I hope nobody saw that over my shoulder.
I'll think about that, but I'll also say this. The other part of this that concerns me, Professor hit on it, but the First Amendment implications. Look, I can make a strong case that pornography is bad. I think it's harmful to society. I think it's bad for children to see, but the First Amendment protects it, and it should. It should. I get really uncomfortable when we come up against these First Amendment issues that would censor any kind of speech. And I think personal responsibility is a better mitigation than curtailing any kind of First Amendment privileges that allow people to say whatever they want to say. I worry about that, and I think it leads us down a very bad path.
By the way, producer Ethan has already weighed in, says he has a weird obsession with watching car crashes on social media. Yep, that's weird, Ethan.
Yeah.
But what? Just let us know.
I love how he just throws it out there, though. I mean, he never holds back.
Maybe he should. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line, 800-765-8255. We'll get to text, we'll get to phone calls. Coming up, Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Principal Greg Dosh of MTech.
Thanks to funding in part from West Virginia lottery proceeds, we're expanding MTech with a new STEM edition.
Across West Virginia, opportunities like these are made possible when you play, helping to ensure more students can discover their future right here at home. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery for education have totaled $4.1 billion. West Virginia Lottery, 18 plus to play responsibly.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. And we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
West Virginia. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk 304 is the text line. Some of these responses are outstanding. My guilty pleasure is watching other people play the coin pusher machine. Silly, I know, but relaxing. 304 Talk 304. Firing without cause karma. Comedy acts. Ethan observes this show every day. Ethan enjoys watching car crashes. Coincidence? Asks the texter. Oh. Guilty pleasure. Convenience store customers. All right. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-8255. Is this Jim? Yeah. I accidentally hung up on Jim when I was trying to go to him. Jim, we're up against the clock. Keep it kind of quick. What's up?
Hey, the guy's talking about misinformation and who's going to police that. I tell you what, we've learned since 2020 that a lot of the things that have been considered misinformation haven't been misinformation. And I think the only real platform right now that's getting it right is Twitter with community notes. And I think the community notes are the best form of figuring out if something's actually correct or not, because they cite the facts of whatever the community note is. And I'm with TJ on this one. I think there's got to be some accountability for the parents, and we're not stupid. So if you could just maybe tell us that things are bad, cell phones are bad for young kids, social media is bad for young kids, and what happens when you do that. The problem is that the people that will have to tell us that are getting advertising dollars from the companies that makes those things. So that you got to regulate that first.
Jim, always appreciate the perspective. Hey, thanks for the phone call, buddy. Thank you. 800-765-TALK, 304-TALK, 304. I got to take another break. We'll wrap up the first hour. Your guilty pleasures on social media as well. 800-765-TALK and 304-TALK, 304. Talk line from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
The Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show returns to Milan Park in Morgantown March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of campers and RVs, boats and ATVs, hunting and fishing supplies, guns, knives, and more. Limited vendor space is now available. To put your products and services in front of over 10,000 outdoor enthusiasts, visit WVOutdoorSportsShow.com. The 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown, a WVRC media event.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Hey, welcome in, everybody, one and all.
Got some breaking news to get to.
The most powerful radio show in West Virginia.
And the people absolutely love it.
That's something you're going to have to watch.
It's Metro News Talkline.
Statewide Sports Line.
Metro News Midday.
The Metro News Hotline.
Game night.
3 guys before the game.
That's a good combination.
And it's on.
Metro News.
The voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
The West Virginia Lottery is turning 40 and wants to celebrate you. Play in-store and online all year and enter in the app for your chance to win a share of $3 million in cash and prizes, including cruise packages and the big $1 million draw. So don't miss out on these monthly drawings. Visit WVLottery.com for details. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Text lines 304-TALK, 304. Phone numbers 800-765-TALK. Texter says, good morning, gentlemen. TJ, y'all let Dave Allen get the drop on the Eric Tarr announcing he's running for re-election. Y'all are slipping. As far as reworking the school aid formula, if the formula is reworked without any additional funding, we'll just be taking from one county to give to another. Is that what we are talking about when we want to rework the school funding formula? Or are we really talking about the need to add more funding to public schools? Two totally different topics. Love the show, says Doug in Winfield.
I think part of that is if a county can't generate enough GDP to be a county, should they still be a county? That's part of this conversation, too.
No,
man.
it's not. No counties are going away. We got to have a real conversation with real answers. We can have these existential conversations, but
I'm talking economics. You're talking politics. I'll talk economics.
Well, you can talk economics, but it ain't going to happen.
Well, then they're going to go bankrupt.
There are no
facilitation to do that now.
There are not going to be any counties consolidated in the next 10 years.
Well, I'm telling you what there ought to be, or else one of them's going to go bankrupt. And they can go bankrupt now. We put that into code. So that's fine. They can file bankruptcy.
We are going to break. Back in 6 minutes. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, yeah, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
know,
You were
know.
watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
What happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So, because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show, syndicated?
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of Metro News Talkline, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Phone number is that is the phone number. Text line is 304-TALK 304. Brad McElhinny will stop by. Wayne Ryan, Executive Director of the WVSSAC, will join us. There was an op-ed published. In fact, it's on WVMetroNews.com. You can take a look at that. The pressures of high school athletics these days. We'll talk to Wayne about that bottom of the hour. Jake's on the video stream. Ethan's on the audio side. TJ's in the Charleston studios today. We got him back up and running. TJ, good morning.
Good morning. I took a look at my social media reels. 'Cause I wasn't really sure what my guilty pleasure was. You got me thinking about it, and I thought, well, I'll just go spin through. It'll tell me what it is. I lead a boring life. That's what I learned from that exercise. Thank you.
I'll give you another one of mine, and it is stupid to think about. Farming videos. I love to watch guys actually work. Like I'm talking big time Midwest, growing corn out in Iowa farms.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the kid in me who still loves, big machinery and that sort of thing. But, yep, that's another one that pops up in between Karens getting their karma.
So it appears I've been watching a lot of old wrestling clips with Ric Flair and Jim Cornette.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is great. Rotting your mind there, TJ. Obviously, rotting your mind away there.
Yep. There you go.
Yesterday on the Senate floor, Taylor County Senator Jay Taylor had a very pointed and passionate speech calling for sweeping reforms for child protective services following the death of an 11-year-old girl in Taylor County. Joining us on Metro News Talkline this morning is the aforementioned Senator, Senator Jay Taylor. Jay, good morning. Good to talk to you.
Morning. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you taking some time with us. You called for sweeping reforms to CPS yesterday. Where do we begin when we're reforming the agency as a whole?
Well, certainly getting some attention to it was absolutely necessary. We're discussing this. I've been working with the health chairman to see what we can do there. I know the governor's been trying to get on top of this too. So hopefully, since we're getting all hands on deck here, we can really get this reformed in the right way, make sure that we're bringing this out in the open, getting all this transparency, accountability, and making sure that we're doing right for the children of West Virginia.
Jay, you talked about accountability. It seems we have one of these stories, and the only things that change are the names. It seems these keep happening, these incidences. Who's accountable? I mean, who are we going to hold accountable to actually fix this and have some concrete change?
Well, we need to open because right now CPS is operating in a veil of secrecy. And the only thing they're doing is, saying, oh, hey, it's privacy for the kids. And I get that. We need to protect the privacy of the kids. But how they operate, we need to know what's going on there. So we're making sure that we're getting that, looked at and seeing what we can do to, we've had where the rules are going to be approved. We had that up in the health committee there just the other day. So I'm hopeful that we can get that through, get a little bit more of this, out in the open. I really think some of this transparency is the biggest part, and making sure that we can see and that we can answer all the questions that people are having. Once people know what's going on and how it works and how it's supposed to work, that's the biggest thing right now, because right now it's not working at all. And so, on either side of it, with, them not doing enough or with them doing too much. So we got to make sure that we get that balance here.
Jay Taylor joining us, at Taylor County Senator. Jay, there are a couple of issues, but the two major ones, transparency and accountability, you mentioned that, but there's also a shortage of workers, high caseloads, long hours, burnout, et cetera. Can we address that issue legislatively?
Well, and I did mention that during my remarks there, is that's often what we hear. And yes, we need to make sure that the pay is taken care of there, and we need to make sure that we're attracting the best people to be working in this system, because this is a very, very trying and very taxing and very emotionally draining work. But it is necessary work to make sure that we're doing the best for our children here in West Virginia. And we can't have these failures. It's unacceptable. So yes, we do need to open the veil up here, see what we can do, make sure that we get it totally taken care of for the children of West Virginia. I'm not saying I've got all the answers, but we're bringing it all together right now, and it has been good to hear some of the different things that's going on here to see some of the issues. So that has helped open this up. So I hate that it's been that these deaths of these children has been what's brought the attention to this. But once we get this fixed, we can do better for the children of West Virginia. Absolutely.
I haven't any idea where the money would come from. I agree we should pay CPS workers more. I don't think people want to take that job and that responsibility with the pay that we have. With that, should we take tax cuts off the table, stop talking about another 5 to 10% income tax cut, and just say, hey, we got problems and we got to fix them and it's going to take money?
I know the governor's got his agenda in doing that, and I support the governor and what he's wanting to do. I'm hopeful that this is more reshuffling things and getting, because there's waste all over government. We know that. We know that there's a lot of top-heavy things that we can fix. So just readjusting some things and getting our priorities straight will help greatly with this. So
Jay, is that the key right there? You've been in the Senate a while now. We've covered it. It's about priorities. If there's something you want to fund, you can find the money. Is that really what it amounts to?
It is, and just getting getting some of the red tape out of the way, making sure that we're doing right by things. And it's across the board with all of our agencies. We've got so many things where it's a bureaucratic nightmare to get anything done. And once we cut some of this red tape, get government out of the way, but make sure that we're doing things responsibly out in the open and doing it the right way. And once we do that, I'm confident that we can pay for it, pay well, have tax cuts, have all of it. And I know that's a dream, but hey, that's our mission here, is to make sure we're doing the best we can for West Virginians and not letting our children down. We cannot do that. So that's definitely got to be a priority.
When we have these terrible tragedies like you're talking about, and I'll use Kennedy Miller because there's been some time since that one, common sense would say we sit down and we post-analyze this thing and we run it back through and we do the TikTok and we understand exactly where we went wrong, what happened. But I don't know that we have transparency into those kinds of findings. I don't hear a lot about those. Maybe I'm just asleep at the wheel. But as a senator, are you seeing that? Are you seeing post-action reports that call out where we went wrong and how we fix it?
Some of it. And we are getting more and more involved. The prosecutor in Taylor County, what he has been doing here to make sure that we're doing the right thing here, has been very informative. Making sure I've been hearing from judges who've been telling me like stuff that we can do to help fix this and get this more curtailed and out in the open. You know, having the governor on board and having his people willing to be able to have these reforms, that's been very helpful too. This is going to take some time, but we need to act quickly because we can't have another child if this happens to. So hopefully the quickly is this year. So, but when I say it's taking time, I'm going to get all this information together. We don't have a fix-all bill right now is what I'm saying, but we're looking at different things and we're hoping we can bring this together quickly.
Jay Taylor, Taylor County Senator. I know you got a floor session to get to, Jay, but
I'm watching it right now.
Okay.
I'm standing right outside the door, and I'm looking at your all's empty table down there. I mean, but making sure I'm not missing any votes. I don't want to miss any votes.
Don't worry, we'll be back next week. But before we let you go and get back to the floor session, have senators met with the governor recently? Had any discussions about the session, and if so, what have those been like?
We had the governor in today for our caucus. Probably not supposed to talk about what happens in caucus, but it was a very nice discussion, and it was good. I like it when the governor comes and talks to us, and we're able to see where he's going and where everybody's going. So that way we can all get on the same page and do some great things for West Virginians. And that's what's that's the exciting part here is all the wonderful things that is coming.
Jay Taylor from Taylor County, the senator from Taylor County. Jay, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you back at the Capitol next week.
I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Hey, appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Jay Taylor, senator from Taylor County. Brad McElhinny is at the state capitol. We'll talk to him next.
The weekend's almost here, and are you looking for the perfect way to enjoy the water? Lou Wendell Marine Sales has you covered with Avalon pontoon boats. These luxurious high-performance pontoons offer smooth rides, spacious seating, and top-tier durability. Built with precision and style, Avalon pontoons deliver comfort and reliability season after season. Visit Lou Wendell Marine Sales today and experience the Avalon difference. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I've had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Talk 304-800-765-TALKS the phone number. You all continuing to weigh in on your guilty pleasures on social media, PG version. Texter says, I love couponing and haul videos, Dollar Tree storage hacks, and shop with me videos on social media. Texter says, I like messing with my social media accounts. I'll talk about some off-the-wall item and time, how long it takes for an ad to pop up. 1986 Dodge Duster, says the texter.
Wow. That's nice.
All right. Let's see. See if I can get some ads for a Dodge Duster. Maybe you all can get an ad for a Dodge Duster. Brad McElhinny is our Metro News statewide correspondent. He is in the Metro News office, which is located somewhere in the state capital, at an undisclosed, highly guarded location. Brad, good morning.
Oh, hi. Good morning. Yes, it's lovely here.
Would you like to weigh in on our social media question today? What's the one kind of weird thing, it doesn't have to be weird, but that pops up on your social media and you go, I can't believe I'm watching this?
Oh, so I heard you guys discussing that moments ago, and I didn't really understand because I'd missed some of the other stuff.
You were
so
working.
my YouTube is serving me up old rock concerts, but I don't think that qualifies under the parameters that you've discussed, because I like watching them and have no shame.
What particular what groups, by the way? Now you've got me curious.
So I mean, lately I've been being served up Huey Lewis and the News. You know, you may remember them from the 1980s, and every song they've got is catchy. So if your YouTube serves it up, you won't regret it.
All right, Huey Lewis and the News and a 1986 Dodge Duster. I love where this show is headed this morning.
Living.
All right, Brad,
Yeah.
what's happening under the Golden Dome today?
Well, that's a great question. My job is to discern what's important and what is not, and I am having a hard time today. As you alluded late in the conversation with Senator Jay Taylor, my understanding is the governor did come and meet with senators today. That is not unusual, but it's also not something that happens every day. I have not been able to really determine, because what happens in caucus stays in caucus, and so I don't know what it was about. But we are now 1/4 of the way through the session, so it could be that he just wanted to touch base. You know, if you can think back 2 weeks ago to the governor's State of the State address, much of the emphasis was on his aspiration of a 10% tax cut, but budgeting for 5%. I think he'd like to see, you know, further consideration, some momentum, some action on that. Governor has a noon press conference today. No topic stated. That's one of his things. So we don't know if that'll be sort of run of the mill or if it'll be something of interest. Meanwhile, you know, there are several things that are kind of churning. You wouldn't see these on an agenda, but talk of how West Virginia ought to appropriately fund schools. Talk of the Town, our local program in Morgantown today, had the new House Education Chairman, Joe Statler, who said that one of his priorities as he takes over as the education chair for the next 3 quarters of the session is to focus on the state aid that goes to school systems in West Virginia. And then you guys had Senator Eric Tarr with some big thoughts about what West Virginia needs to do. And it really sounds like his ideas go beyond this session, possibly in terms of timeline, stretching all the way to the next session to try to completely revamp school funding in West Virginia.
Had a couple politicos reach out this morning, the old text message, if you will, and they have suggested to me that there's not enough talk out of the governor's office about this. Then Eric Tarr comes on the show, talks about the governor's bully pulpit and how he's going to have to be the leader on this. Would you agree with that? I mean, are you hearing anything from the governor's office when it comes to funding education, the school formula, special education, anything coming out of the governor's office on this very important topic?
Not in terms of his words, and perhaps more importantly, not really in terms of his budget. I mean, that's putting it on paper. That's your priorities. The governor's budget does make greater allowances, takes a big swing at going ahead and funding what's necessary for Hope Scholarship, well into the next fiscal year. That's the scholarship for families that are using state financial support for non-public school options, whether it's homeschooling or a micro school or private school. But, there are community schools in the public school system all over the state that are either having financial strain or closing or consolidating. The governor's budget makes no move to add additional dollars for the state school aid formula. Doesn't reflect that at all. Spends every dollar considered to be available, but there's nothing additional for the schools. And, to me, that is an even bigger deal than what you're saying with your words. With the budget, you're putting it on paper.
Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny, brought to you by AARP, joining us from the state capitol. Brad, you mentioned that Joe Statler is the new House Education Committee chairman. There were a couple of moves made within the Capitol yesterday, some folks switching positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're switching around some Joes, literally switching Joes. Joe Ellington, for the last few years, had been the chairman of the House Education Committee. He's going to move into sort of a more core leadership position. He's going to be the deputy speaker. So I think that's sort of an advisor role, takes care of some duties if the speaker can't be here, that kind of thing. And then Joe Statler of Monongalia County is going to be now the chairman of the House Education Committee. What strikes me is the timing. I mean, you don't necessarily see that too often, 1/4 of the way into the session. But, I do think nothing at all to say about Joe Ellington. That's still an honor and a position of respect to be moving into that deputy speaker position. But I think Joe Statler has been, passionate and very hands-on regarding all these school funding issues that we've been talking about. He's the guy who's been kind of getting under the hood. And so it seems like a practical decision, a practical matter for him to now lead that committee.
And then Delegate, Trenton Barnhart went from the House. He goes to the Senate. He takes Donna Boley's old seat. Guy Ward was appointed in Marion County, and I guess that leaves Barnhart's old seat in the House now that will need to be filled. I need a whiteboard, Brad, for all these changes.
You really do. Yeah, I keep getting thrown when I do vote counts in the House. It's always 99 votes, and I think, what am I missing here? It's because the House has been down a guy all year long, and so now they're putting a guy in, Guy Ward, literally a guy, but losing Trenton Barnhart of Pleasants County to the Senate. The Senate's also been down a stalwart, Donna Boley. And the citizens of Pleasants County need representation. There are, as Senator Taylor said, there are votes happening right now on the passage of bills, and it's important for every citizen in West Virginia to be represented. Now the citizens of Pleasants County and surrounding counties are going to get that with Trenton Barnhart, who just has to walk down the hall.
2 weeks in, fellas, today, February 17th, just to put on the calendar, take this as you will, last day to introduce new bills in the House of the Virgin. There you go, 17th.
That's the day we start working on the school aid formula.
Well, today's day 15? Quarter of the way through? Well, we got plenty of time.
Correction, that's the last day in the House, February 17th. 23rd is the last day to introduce in the Senate. So just a correction on that. My bad.
Valentine's Day belated.
It's only January 28th, guys. Plenty of time. Brad, always appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks.
Brad's report is brought to you by AARP. I can't find the read, and I apologize to AARP. I just had it, TJ. Sometimes you just got to own it. There it is. AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. We'll talk to Brad again tomorrow from the state capitol. The pressures on high school athletes these days. We'll talk to Executive Director of the WVSSAC, Wayne Ryan, coming up in a moment. This is Talkline from Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. The company that has been studying a microgrid plan for Mason County has today announced they are ready to move forward with an operation. Fidelis New Energy and 8090 Industries announcing today the launch of American Intelligence and Power Corporation. The company will produce up to 8 gigs of power in a generating facility to be built in Mason County that will provide power to various data center customers throughout the region. The Monarch Compute Campus would be an infrastructure platform designed explicitly for AI power and would provide consistent power, rapid responsiveness, and continuous duty performance. No word from the company on when construction would get started. Emergency funding for the Hancock County schools is in a bill now in the state Senate, faces an uphill climb. Hancock County had sought those dollars to help make payroll, and it sailed through the House in one day, but the Senate is taking a very different view. Senator Eric Tarr believes Hancock County is only the symptom of a much bigger issue.
85% of the property taxes that come into those counties go to fund public education. So I think we have to really get that figured out. And until we do, you're going to see the State Board of Education taking over more and more schools.
And the bill was discussed for an hour Tuesday in the Senate Education Committee, but no action taken. A longtime leader in the West Virginia Republican Party and veteran lawmaker has died. John Overington of Berkeley County died overnight. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Since 1914, Greer Limestone and Asphalt have been laying the groundwork for America's roads, buildings, and bridges. What started as a single limestone mine near Morgantown, West Virginia, has grown into the state's largest producer of limestone aggregates. But Greer doesn't stop at rock. Greer's Morgantown and Clarksburg asphalt plants produce top-tier paving mixes for driveways to major highways, crafted to meet federal standards. At Greer Limestone and Greer Asphalt, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Now showing on Metro News Television, your friends at Hope Gas present Episode 6 of State of Minds. Hoppy Kercheval visits with Jacob Gordon, world-renowned tattoo artist and owner of Katana Gold.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with 2 swords.
State of Minds. Episode 6, now available on Metro News TV. Presented by Hope Gas, with support from Greer Industries. Only on the Metro News Television app.
Governor Patrick Morrisey announcing on Tuesday that the West Virginia National Guard's mission in Washington, D.C. will continue through the end of 2026. National outlets had recently reported that the National Guard's mission overall in D.C. would be extended through the remainder of the year, but the specifics about West Virginia's continued activities is new at this point. Right now, more than 2,600 National Guard troops are in D.C., and nearly a dozen states are participating. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Talk 304 is the text line, 800-765-8255. That is the phone number. Once again, Brad's report from the Capitol, brought to you by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. Texter says, once again, the chairman of the Education Committee is not a teacher or a school education background person. No, Joe was not a teacher, but he did serve several years on the Montague County School Board. So, yes, he is quite familiar with the public education system.
So what if he hadn't? He meets every qualification laid out in code in the Constitution to be a delegate, and that's at the discretion of the speaker. So what if he hadn't?
I have no problem. I'm just pointing out he does. He does.
Well, I know you don't. I'm just asking. So what if he hadn't?
304 Talk 304. Back to guilty pleasures on social media. Texter says, if you're eating, please stop. I like to watch the zit popping videos, especially Mr. Papa Zit, a.k.a. Greg Lynch, Durham, PA, in California. Also, Dr. Sandra Lee. Both on YouTube, my guilty pleasure, says the texter.
Yeah, I mean, that's big. She has a TLC show on that.
Is that, oh, that's
on cable. That's her, yeah.
That's her?
The small little lady that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't watch that. Nope, can't do it.
Well, somebody's watching it. If it's killing it on social and it's got a TV show, I mean, somebody's watching it.
This texter corrects himself and says, sorry, I meant a 1976 Plymouth Duster. Okay. 304 Talk 304, that's the text line, your guilty social media pleasures. We have an op-ed posted over at WVMetroNews.com this morning. Guest op-ed by Dr. Carissa Niehoff. I believe it's Niehoff, Chief Executive Officer of the NFHS, National Federation of High Schools, and Wayne Ryan, Executive Director of the WVSSAC. The op-ed reads, high school sports has experienced record participation. It's also experiencing unprecedented pressure. Well, as one who closely follows high school athletics here in West Virginia, you have my attention. Joining us is the Executive Director of the WVSSAC, Wayne Ryan. Wayne, good morning. Appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. Good morning.
So what are the pressures facing high school athletes, high school student athletes these days, that prompted you to write this op-ed with the National Director?
Well, this op-ed comes from, basically what is going on nationwide, and the NFHS has got a program this year called Protect the Purpose. And what we're trying to do is simply protect education-based athletics because too many young people are getting influenced and getting pressured to specialize, to be overutilized, and participate in one thing and commit to it way too early in life. It's not a healthy life, and the majority aren't going professional, although too many parents believe they are. And we're very concerned about this trend, and so we really believe in education-based athletics. We believe in multiple sport participation, and so part of that campaign is we got together and put this a letter together, and just trying to encourage people to understand the purpose and why we hold the shield for education-based athletics, school-based.
Wayne, do you think part of the reason that this is happening is that coaches and parents, to some extent, want to live through their children's successes or failures? Talk about that and why that's a problem.
It's always a problem. I mean, we all want what's good for our kids, and we want them to have things better than us, but there is too much undue pressure for the kids to achieve and for parents to live vicariously through their children. I don't think that's within question at all. I think that happens. And I think, our society, because of the college NIL and the money in the sports industry and the huge amount of money now in the travel sport industry, it's become big business. But by big business, they're making money. It's not always at the best interest of your child to be participating in that full go and dedicated to that all the time. So I think there's a lot of pressure and a lot of parents misunderstand opportunities, and they misunderstand the term scholarship, and they really put their eggs in an athletic basket where they would be a lot better off putting them in be good at athletics. If you're really good, there'll be a chance later, but let's worry about our academics and what really opens the door for our future. Athletics and academics go hand in hand, and travel sports, that is a lost entity.
Wayne Ryan is joining us, Executive Director of the WVSSAC. There are a lot of different opportunities. You mentioned travel sports or club sports, but what sets secondary schools athletics, what sets that apart from those other athletic opportunities?
Well, I think, at the forefront will be your community. I mean, you're representing your school. It's across your chest. You come to school the next morning, and your friends ask you about the game and what went on, and you played a rival school. I mean, I don't think they ask those same questions about the AAU team in those games. There's a commitment to the community. High school sports is fun because there's not as much pressure. And something else, although the parents have to sacrifice for that athlete to play high school sports, they don't have to pay. And so, therefore, they're not on edge all the time, and they're not upset all the time about playing time or the coach and all these issues, and they're not going and forming another team just because things didn't go their way. You can't do that in education-based athletics. You have to learn the valuable lessons that come with participating as a part of the team.
If I'm hearing you correctly, what I'm hearing you say is this is how we as high school athletics and the body that governs high school athletics, this is what we are going to aspire to. This is what we are going to be about. If you want to focus on these other things, then fine, go do AAU and those things. But over here, this is what we are going to do because we think it's in the best interest of the child. So I see this as, hey, make your decision, but understand you can't have it both ways. Am I right or wrong there?
I think you're pretty accurate there. And, obviously statistically we're pushing our fact sheet this year. We've got over 8 million student athletes across the country playing high school sports. Only 7% are going on to play in college. 2% earn a scholarship. That scholarship may last a year, it may not. But 100% of our student athletes can participate, and they can have the values and the growth from being a part of education-based athletics. And we're trying to develop the total person, that future leader, that citizen, that person that's going to have a productive life, not put everything into athletics to the point that they become obsessed with it, and then things don't turn out the way they were supposed to. And they lost a lot of opportunities. They lost a lot of valuable life lessons. They lost a lot of memories, and they're not as healthy a person at that point. We want the total person to be considered in high school athletics.
Wayne Ryan, WVSSAC Executive Director, joining us. Wayne, like anything, it's a balancing act. It's all about balance. It's about competitiveness. It is about winning, but it's about the other things you talk about. And I keep coming back, it's about balance. You have to have balance in everything you do. And same thing with your kids and when they're playing, varsity sports, if they're playing club sports, whatever. It's about balance.
I think the balance is very important. Without a doubt. I mean, I would encourage all parents to let their children play as many sports as they want to play for as long as they want to play them. As they grow older, they may decide, hey, I like this better. I want to do this longer. That's okay. But, I think parents are selecting sports for their children way too early, specializing them too early, investing money. That frustrates them if things don't go their way. And that's not a healthy child we're raising. A healthy child has fun playing sports. And, yeah, there are some kids that have fun playing child sports. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, I love sports. I would play sports anytime, anywhere. But, in general, we've got too many kids that aren't participating at the school level that we know would benefit in the big picture better if they weren't specialized and weren't pushed in the other direction.
Wayne, to what degree do you believe that with this push and with the financial pressure, right? Hey, I'm investing thousands of dollars here. I want to see it out on the field. To what degree do you think that is inhibiting our children from learning how to fail? And how is that setting them up to fail if they don't know how to do it later in life?
It's funny you ask that because I actually wrote down a couple notes before we got on this call, and I said some of my most valuable lessons in life were learned through failure. I think it's crucial. I think it's crucial that you have to learn to accept failure sometimes. You have to grow from failure. You have to reset your goals, reestablish, and go again. You don't give up. And I think that's very, very important. I think that's a big part of it.
Wayne Ryan, Executive Director with the WVSSAC. The op-ed is posted over at WVMetroNews.com. Growing is the purpose, keeping education first in high school sports. Go check it out. Wayne, we appreciate it. We'll talk. We'll be talking basketball very, very soon. It's not far away.
Can't wait. It's a good time. We're getting ready to start our winter tournaments here real soon. Swim comes first, and then we roll. So, yeah, we'll talk some more. Thank you guys very much for what you do.
Absolutely. Wayne Ryan, WVSSAC Executive Director. Turn the rest of the show over to you. 800-765-TALK. That's the phone number, 304-TALK-304. That is the text line. Many of you still weighing in on your PG version, guilty pleasures. What pops up in the algorithm of social media along the way? Brad McElhinny, rock concerts. I can see it. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. We're back in a moment.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
Hey, welcome in, everybody, one and all.
Got some breaking news to get to.
The most powerful radio show in West Virginia.
And the people absolutely love it.
That's something you're going to have to watch.
It's Metro News Talkline.
Statewide Sports Line.
Metro News Midday.
The Metro News Hotline.
Game night.
Three guys before the game.
That's a good combination.
And it's on.
Metro News,
the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
I know it may not feel like it. It's 11 degrees in Morgantown. Cheat Lake's frozen over here in town. I think it's frozen over. But start thinking now, because the weather will eventually warm up, and it's going to be June, and you're going to be thinking, man, if only I'd thought about getting a pontoon boat back in January. May not be long, so go check out Lou Wendell Marine Sales now. Get ready early. Check out the inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales, we sell family fun. 304-TALK-304 is the text line. Serving on the Board of Education sure doesn't make you the best expert to chair the Education Committee. TJ, you want BOE members charged due to their actions in counties with issue. Our other committee chairs have experience in what committee they deal with. Check them out. They either are employed or spent the majority of their careers in that particular concentration. They don't have a teacher in charge of finance or judiciary. That's the point. We should have people who have or are working in that area that committee deals with. That's why it matters. Do you want a teacher or a person with an investment background as chair of the Finance Committee? But that's right. You support our state going bankrupt due to handing out no-hope scholarships to people who can pay if they choose not to participate in public schools. All this new no-hope money would fund all you have spoke about this morning, says the texter.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
A lot there. Fine. Then pass a law that is passed by your duly elected representatives that says that the chair of the Education Committee has to be a teacher. Make it code. Okay, fine. But all I'm telling you is right now, he meets every qualification that's out there. Pass a law.
And I can guarantee you this. I know it's hypothetical, but I can guarantee you, if the Hope Scholarship did not exist, we would be having the same conversation about the school aid formula and about school funding we are having right now. We'd be having the same one, whether or not the Hope Scholarship existed or not.
Yeah, these financial pressures predate.
Oh, yeah.
The Hope Scholarship. So, yeah, you can't say, oh, well, we did hope, and now look where we're at. That just doesn't fly.
Is it a factor? Sure, it's
Maybe,
a factor.
Yeah.
But we'd be having the same conversation if it existed or not. Let's go to Ron in Raleigh County. Hey, Ron.
Hey, how are you guys today?
Great, Ron. What you got?
Sir.
Hey, I worked in a takeover county in 2010 through 2014 in Fayette County, and we had a happy ending. But I heard you guys talking about the balance between political realities and operational realities. And one of the things that happened in Fayette County was, people didn't want to close schools. They didn't want to consolidate, and God bless them, I understood all that. But the realities of the facilities just overwhelmed the politics where the schools were falling apart. And that's what's going to happen with, I think, the county system of government. It's just going to get overwhelmed. And you can have all the political mojo you want, but realities will eventually overwhelm it. And I hope we can be proactive instead of reactive, because it is painful, man, when those things fall apart.
Ron, appreciate the phone call. And I may have misunderstood you back at the end of the last hour. Were you talking about consolidating counties or county school systems? Because we were talking schools and we may have crossed. Were you talking about actual consolidating, say, Pleasance and Wood County, or county school systems?
Both. Both. For the reason the gentleman just articulated, eventually economics will come home to roost. There is a reason last year this legislature scrambled to create a framework to allow a political subdivision of the state of West Virginia to file bankruptcy. That never existed prior to last year. There's a reason. We're going to come up against it one way or the other.
School systems, maybe. Counties, Mike Oliverio introduced a bill, what did he tell us? Back in the 90s to redraw county lines every 100 years?
Something like that, yeah.
That's a bill you don't even have to deal with. Somebody else would have to deal with it, and they couldn't get that through. So
no, I agree. The politics are tough. And I think to the gentleman's point, the political pressures almost will necessitate the fact that it will be reactive and not proactive. It'll fail, and then we'll have to do something.
Ron, appreciate your phone call. Thanks for listening in. 304-TALK-304. Texter says, I'm always being shown Scott Jennings videos schooling others, says the texter.
I've seen some of those. This can be pretty entertaining.
304-TALK-304. We'll squeeze in a couple of more texts. We'll wrap things up here on Wednesday. Tell you what's coming up tomorrow. This is Talkline from the Encove Insurance Studios.
Days, evenings, weekends, and holidays. You can't predict when you'll get sick or hurt.
But WVU Medicine Urgent Care is prepared to help when you do. Our team treats minor illnesses and injuries and performs services like on-site lab and imaging, vaccinations, and sports physicals. WVU Medicine is ready to assist you and your family when life happens. To find the closest location near you, visit wvumedicine.org/urgent care.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
We're expanding our ultra-fast fiber network across West Virginia, bringing reliable, lightning-fast internet to more homes every day. With plans up to 10 gig, you'll enjoy unbeatable speed for streaming, gaming, and working from home. And right now, new customers get 50% off any plan for their first year, now as low as $25 a month. No contracts, free installation, local support you can count on. Check availability today at citynet.net. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Yeah.
The West Virginia Lottery is turning 40 and wants to celebrate you. Play in-store and online all year and enter in the app for your chance to win a share of $3 million in cash and prizes, including cruise packages and the big $1 million draw. So don't miss out on these monthly drawings. Visit WV Lottery for details. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. A couple of quick texts here. The NCAA has made college players become mini professionals, and it's now all for the money. No longer is there a team commitment to the school they signed to. It'll trickle down to high school. We must let our students be student athletes. It will help them become and grow into functional adults. It's a learning opportunity for hard work and finishing what you start, says the texter. That has already started to trickle down. It's already starting. That one is long and opens a can of worms I don't have time to get into. Texter says, balance. No, Dave, it's about the money. And sends along a Costanza meme. It's about the money. Is this about the money? Yeah, it's about the money, says the texter. Consolidating counties would very necessarily cause massive headaches with property records, even though some records are digitized at this point. Many are not. Plus, the old books would have to be preserved in a way that they could be accessed, says the texter. I will give you this, Mr. Meadows. Take nothing off the table. Everything should be part of the conversation when we have these conversations. And to the texter's point, yes, it would be a massive headache. It'd be a massive administrative headache. But take nothing off the table.
What happens to the books when we have to file bankruptcy and no one takes care of the courthouse anymore and they just all fall into repair in a dump somewhere?
We end up in a video game called, End of the World. It's the end of the show. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 10:06. Senator Capito will join us. We'll see you then.